Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round four of your Midwest Motorsports Cup Series tonight, racing at Daytona. Although we're going to be racing the Roval course today, brought to you by Midwest Motorsports. 3.57 mile length track. Got two chicane sections, one known as a bus stop, and then they got the last chicane right before the front stretch. We got a total of 35 laps here tonight. Stage 1 ends at lap 8. Stage 2 ends on lap 17. There will be no cautions, so drivers, be careful tonight. You don't want to go off track, because that's going to hurt you. 18 drivers total in attendance, and they got two sets of tires. Welcome to the booth. Myself, I'm Aaron Holroyd, and I got my partner here with me tonight, James. How you doing, James?
Hey, Aaron. I'm great. Glad to have you on the stream with the Cup Series. Thanks for letting me sit in tonight. Sunday, right? Let's go racing the Daytona Road Course.
That is right. We got qualifying already wrapped up right now. We got Justin Taylor sitting in the one spot with his brother next to him, Eric Taylor. Then we got Albert Williams sitting in the 3 spot with Dustin Breinstedel, last week's race winner. He's looking to get some points back today after winning in Iowa. We got Jason Huffman and Anthony Castor back, with Ryan Sargent making his first race of the season. Clarence Prince sitting in your 8th spot. Andrew Miller 9th. Greg Dries, the host of the Cool Down Lap, sitting in P10. Chris Melton in P11. Austin Call making his debut back to Midwest Motorsports. Took a couple years off. He's welcome back, sitting in the 12th spot in the 47 car. And then we got down in 13th, we got Brandon Hinton, Norm Snyder 14, James Olofsson 15, Pete Dillon 16, and Craig Hawkins sitting in number 17, rounding out the rest of your field. These guys will be starting on the backstretch just before the chicane, so we have a little bit of a time to get there. Hopefully they get all lined up, ready to go after the last chicane, which is T13 and 14. And then we'll be off racing for hopefully what seems like to be a quick race tonight. I mean, there's no caution, so these boys should be running it smoothly and just looking to give each other some more give and take, and hopefully to give more than they take, right?
That's right. We're already going through the bus stop. So we're coming around NASCAR turn 3. Going to get this race started pretty soon here, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, so it's going to be a quick race. You got a nice looking 81 Prime car sitting there. I haven't seen that car in the field yet. That's Clarence Prince rounding up. No, that's Albert Williams. I'm sorry. So he's got a new paint scheme for the evening, but you got Eric and Justin in their known Midwest Motorsports and the Castro Edge car, rounding out the first 2 positions. So look at them to maybe work together. We'll see. Maybe they'll give each other a little hard time racing each other. So coming out of NASCAR 4, and we're going to be going into turn 13, 14, and after that, they should be off and ready to go.
Like you said, there are stage points awarded to the top 5 at certain laps, lap 8 and 17, but they're not going to throw the caution. So we're coming to green, Aaron.
That's right, and looks like they're going to try to bring it back as we get the restart, and looks like they are going now. We got Eric Taylor falling right behind Justin right now. Albert's trying to make a spot up here, but they're going to take it too wide in the first turn on lap 1. Let's see how that works out for them as Eric backs out a little bit, gives enough room. Doesn't want to get too greedy in the first lap. You got 35 laps to make this happen. Riding on board with Eric Taylor, making the chase, getting a little sideways out of that turn. This is known as the Rodriguez International Horseshoe. So big horseshoe 1, and they can take a nice long stretch into a slight right-hand turn or left-hand turn into the West Horseshoe, as NASCAR drivers like to call it. These guys aren't usually known for running too much here. I mean, last time I ran here was, I believe, 2001. Chase Elliott, as we might see. Oh, Ryan Sargent, his first race in the series, takes up. Maybe he got all by himself, or he get a little help there. Take a look at this. He's already getting a little sideways. He's already getting, all by himself. Ryan Sargent. Wow, that's going to put him back in the field after a pretty good qualifying start. He loses him 8 spots. We see Eric now back up a second and trying to pull a little gap on the field. How do you think we're going to do tonight here, James?
Man, I think it's going to be amazing. It's great to see the Cup cars on the road course at Daytona, something I've never seen on TV even. So I'm glad to see them running the road course and mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I like racing the road courses, especially when they're use the NASCAR turns. Those are always fun, and luckily here they get to use both of them. Some tracks not so much, but We see inside Jason Huffman chasing Rhinestone P5. We just said last week Rhinestone was last week's winner, as we got more problems. We got here Sargent not able to make the turn. Might have some front damage going on there, so probably didn't help him very much. He makes his way back on track, cutting some grass. So we got, as I said, last week was Dustin Rhinstone's first race win of the season. 3 races in so far, we've got 3 different winners. How's that sound there, James?
I love it, man. Hopefully we'll get a 4th today. You never know. You have to run the race. Once again, I do want to remind everybody that this is Veterans Day weekend, and we are honoring our veterans and saluting them for their service as we get to enjoy the things that we enjoy, like sim racing in the States. We mentioned Brian Sargent earlier out of trouble. Brian Sargent wants to recognize his mom, Felicia Sargent, who is a retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. So because of their service, other service members were able to come back as they were doing their tours, keeping everybody safe. So thank you for your service. You've made a pretty cool son in Ryan, and we appreciate your service, Felicia. Thank you.
That's right. Because you guys, it's where let's just get out here and race for fun. You see some action come up here with Pete Dillon getting it all wrong. Trying to get the space and keep it off. Looks like he's going to keep it off the tires. Hopefully make a safe entry back on here. He looks like he does. I just see more problems up there. Sargent with another spin out. Oh no. He's going to be banging that steering wheel pretty hard. Little overcorrection there.
Even the snap spin turns are very difficult in these Cup cars. I think Ryan's just not familiar with the cold tires or the Cup cars and how much power they have. Maybe might have some throttle settings a little different on his setup, maybe. I'm not sure, but just not quite feeling the grip in the rear of his car. You have to be at one with the car. Usually you see guys slinging it sideways and getting loose going in, but that is just seems to be a heavy right foot from what I can tell from out here. There's Eric Taylor. You can see Eric counter steering as he brakes in the entry with maybe some brake by stuff. And we're used to seeing Eric drive a very loose car, truck, or whatever it is he's driving. So that's not a surprise, but he manages to keep it under him even as he puts the power down. And putting power down is where Ryan Sargent seemed to lose it.
Yeah, I mean, you see yourself, you're seeing the counter steer action in his race car as he's driving in the inboard cam. I mean, that orange tape signifies the center of the steering wheel. That's what makes it, it's telling you that the car is going straight. That thing is all over the place as he gets a little wrong here in the west hairpin turn now. Losing a couple of spots. Hopefully he gathers it up here and stays in front of Ryan Settle. So no harm, no foul. He lost 1 spot, but that's going to give Justin a clear run. And Justin, he hasn't finished worse than second place this season. So, I mean, he's got a 2-1-2, looking maybe get another one out of this and start cementing some more points for his series. Right now, he's sitting up 2 points to Christopher Melton, and I don't know. Christopher Melton right now is sitting down 8, so with him taking a win and Melton, if he finishes as they finish now, it's going to give him a nice bigger cushion, and that's never hurts being a leader. You want a bigger cushion. We got Eric sending it in on Albert. Nice move there. Looks like he's got a little bit more comfortability going on. Oh, as we're getting the reports now from Race Control, 69 does have a meatball, so he's got some problems going on. Let's see if he gets some more action here. Oh yeah, that car just does not want to turn for him. What if you're going to go ahead? He's going to send it in for the tow. Hopefully get the car fixed and get it back out and see what he can do. See him back on track now there as I speak.
You mentioned Justin Thaler. Into the tires this time. Ryan Sargent, just a total disconnect in the comfort of this car's capabilities. Ryan Sargent not having his best showing. I've seen him in the trucks. He's a good racer. I think he knows how to drive. No criticism there, but just sometimes when you're off, you're off.
Yeah. So apparently that tire here right there, that was before we got the second spin out. So he hit that wall, came back on the track, and then got action there as we see Hawkins hit the little turtle bumps is what they call them here, and those things are not very forgiving. Got action all over the place. These guys are having a great time racing, some more than others, as we see Norm Snyder going to get some help from the back end. Ooh,
Oh,
Oh, that's a big time help. That's going to stack a couple people up. That was
that's on the
great.
final chicane, the NASCAR chicane. Yeah, Norm got kind of run over there, I think.
Yeah, that's Greg Dreiss, Black Sheep Racing, cool down lap host. Not getting the brakes down hard enough.
It looked like Greg forgot there was even a chicane there.
He might have. That's right. I mean, sometimes he's trying. Like, there's other tracks of this section that don't even have the chicane, so it's new to some guys. And he did apologize on the radio. He just got it all wrong there. As we see James Austin, he's using the Air Force car tonight, so shout out to him as he is also going to maybe take some avoidance action there. I mean, he did come to a stop, so hopefully that doesn't hurt him too much. He gave the space back. We got Norm Snyder also has a meatball now, so he's going to be going to get the car fixed. Ryan Settle pounding Albert Williams right now. Looking real good tonight. And we got here Andrew Miller. What's going on with Andrew Miller? Nothing. Got a nice looking pace car tonight too.
He must have gone directly into the pits with Miller.
Maybe. Okay, here we got Norm Snyder coming back out now after his meatball incident. Hopefully he blends on the track nicely here. Finds a gap. Here we go. Does the right thing. Lets the other guys go by. He knows he's back behind these guys, so he doesn't want to interfere with them too much. Send down in 16th place, so he'll take a little bit of hit after qualifying 14th. So we'll see how they're going. As these guys they're all clapping that dirt at the end of there, trying to get every inch of the track they can.
Number 8, Budweiser of Ant Castor, looking good. He's your rules admin. So it's great to see some of the volunteers that help us out with the league also getting some time in their sim rig today as they pull back on to NASCAR turn 2. Or turn 1, I should say.
Yep, turn 1 and 2. So these guys come up to the backstretch now. This is usually where some incidents happen, which makes sure these guys know where the brake pedal's at. They either brake by a set because this is a tricky bus stop. And I know he had little problems in practice earlier, so it looks like they are going to be getting through here pretty good. Nice looking row of cars going up there, racing cleanly, keeping it all together. These guys are looks like 4, 5, and 6, right in their same picture here. So trying to catch you. You got 3, 4, 5, and 6 actually. You have 4 guys all in a row, keeping it clean, giving each other plenty of space, making the race happen, let it all come to them.
Coming up to the end of lap 5, starting lap 6. Don't forget, as you can see on the screen, that Midwest Motorsports has 4 different racing leagues. Midwest-motorsports.com is where you can find all of our details. Road series on Tuesday nights and a GT4 car, truck Friday night, Xfinity on Saturday night. Sunday's the Cup series. Scan the QR code on the screen. You can find more at midwest-motorsports.com.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for that, James. Good reminder, little hiccups here and there, where you get nice little friendly reminders with James, who's the pro commentator here, but I'm glad he's here with me and showing me the ropes. I love joining him on Tuesday nights and love hearing the callbacks from him when we're doing this Friday of Truck Racing, which I absolutely love doing with these guys. And most of these guys race all 3 series. Maybe some of them even race 4 of them. I know Ryan Siddall, he races all 4 series, so he's got some time in the seat for sure. Loves to get his action in and have fun. All the troubles he had with the truck series, with the little incident coming up to put him back a couple of spots. I mean, he was in 2nd place and had something happen at house, had to drop out, and went from 2nd to 26. But hopefully he gets it all back here tonight and has a good Cup race tonight, as he was the winner. So look to put some points up. He did jump up 9 spots last week to P6. So look at him making a return and recharge. You see Castor, nice, great onboard cam. You see all these guys lined up nicely in a row. You got position.
Second.
Yeah, you got
there. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 all together. Yeah. With Eric Taylor in the 15 leading them.
Yeah, I don't know if Taylor missed some spots or if everybody just started catching fast. So let's see. Last laps they weren't too much slower from each other. Maybe they're all just kind of slowly catching them.
Ty Williams and Reinstedel going through the final chicane. Reinstedel gets a real good run on the exit, but does not decide to run over Ty Williams there. Now he has to block the 4 of Jason Huffman. They do get around Ty Williams, it looks like, or maybe not, turn 1. Oh. Yeah, Ty Williams goes wide and locks it up. Couldn't handle the pressure. Dustin Reinstedel was all over. It looks like Ant Castor also went wide. So that's going to allow Austin Call to catch back up too in the back. So this is from 2nd to 7th. It's basically
somebody else getting it wrong. Castor went back off track again, messed up the first hairpin, so he's dropped back to 7th now after making a great pass to get inside there. I mean, good on him. He didn't want to take out the driver in front of him. You know, Huffman was running his race, so that was a lot of good give there for Castro, I would say. So he's got plenty of time to rebound. We're only 7 laps in, plenty of time. We're going to be coming up to the end of the first stage here, actually, this lap. So maybe he keeps. Oh, he would have had some better stage points had he stayed there, but you know, he did the right thing. Gave space. Didn't want to ruin himself or Huffman's race. So good call. Just save the time and let Ryan Settle and those guys get away from him a little bit more, but make the time up. I mean, he's got a fast car tonight. He can get back up to these guys. You see Austin Call now getting up behind these guys. This will signify the end of the stage. And right now we got Justin Anderson up front, going to be getting max stage points, which is exactly what he wants to see. Just has to get T13 and 14 right. And then he's going to go ahead and rack up stage 1 points. There it is. Sign it off. Justin Taylor's going to be stage 1 winner. Eric is sitting comfortably right now. He's got about a 2-second gap on Ryan Settle. So Ryan Settle will be sitting P3 as they come across. So there's 3, 4, 5. Those are your stage points right there. Justin Taylor holding it down for Calcutta, Ohio. I think that's how you say it, Calcutta. He'll correct me tomorrow or later on. So I'm trying. We're making it work here.
Justin Taylor, no stranger to leading, as he was our truck race winner from Friday night at Road America. Led from the pole all the way. Is he going to do the same thing today?
Yeah, I mean, he already got the stage points here for stage 1, so we're going to have to probably start seeing him come in pretty soon for some fuel. Maybe the next lap or 2 is what I'm getting passed down from the booth up there. You see Andrew Miller coming through now, Clarence Prince right in front of him. Nice little shout out to Andrew Miller running the SIG car. Clarence Prince always rocking his Red Bull machine. If you don't see a Red Bull machine, you know Clarence isn't going to be in the race line. So he has found his car, runs it good, loves the car. And we saw some pictures of his little pit room, of his sim room today. Dude's got it stacked up. He's got a bunch of screens and all the buttons I wish I ever had.
Clarence Prince is also wants to recognize some veterans on this Veterans Day weekend race. James S. Perkins Sr., U.S. Army Airborne Specialist 4. James S. Perkins Jr., U.S. Army Gunnery Sergeant, retired. Samuel Bandy Sr., U.S. Navy Officer, First Class. I'll keep going. These men are just a few of the most stand-up guys he knows. They're all family, and last but not least, Clarence Prince Jr. himself, U.S. Marine Corps. So thank you for your service, all of you, as we recognize the veterans on this Veterans Day weekend. Racers here at Midwest Motorsports also. Thank you for keeping our country safe.
Yeah, I love doing these things. I know pretty soon we're going to have an actual race before we do the Patriot scheme, so I'm interested to see what cars these guys come up with. I mean, some of the guys, you see Dustin already, he's got the camouflage one, so I wonder if we see that one come back out, or a new one, as we see him hounding Taylor, who is already rocking a red, white, and blue scheme, so maybe he'll just add some things to that. That's a cool, I love seeing the back rear rotors. You've seen those things light up and glowing. That's so cool to see these games. I mean, you wouldn't see that in any other game before, but iRacing does it right. You see them hard on the brakes, you see those back rotors glowing.
Sometimes you can tell the difference in their brake bias also. If their fronts are going, their front brakes are a little more dialed in. If their rears are going, their brake bias is a little advanced to the rear. So if you get certain cars in shot at certain times, you can tell a little bit about their brake bias.
Yeah. Dustin giving Eric everything he can handle right now.
Amazing racing here in the Cup Series.
Start off a little rocky, people getting the tires warmed up, figuring out how to run around each other, but now it seems to be smoothed down. We see Dustin coming up to Eric now. He wants to get back up there and get some good points tonight. He's got a couple people in front of him that are running, a couple people in front of him points wise that are running behind him on track. So the more positions he can gain here, the closer he can get to the top step.
The Hooters number 11 today, the camo.
We getting called now. We did get the call that Eric Taylor, the second place car, will be pitting.
Is it too early to take tires, Colin? Aaron, sorry about that. Do you think they're going to take 4 tires, 2 tires, just fronts, just rears, all 4?
I don't know. I mean, maybe some of these guys might just take fronts. I mean, it's a give and take, right? Like it depends on how well they've handled the car and how they've kept their race going. We see Huffman now is going to take over the first place spot, so looking to get a extra point here for a stage lead. I mean, that's always good news. So hopefully he keeps Albert behind him and gets an extra point just for the lap led in the race. But I mean, I'm sure if we see these guys coming for the lap times, they might be coming out here with just a front. But if you just do fronts, at that point you might as well take both because you're gonna have to have the same car set up, right?
Yeah, it's a good question. I know in the road series, what they like to do is, because the amount of time it takes to fuel up the full tank, you can change 2 tires. But you can't change 4. You'll be waiting on the tires. But if you only change 2, you don't have to wait at all. Once the fuel is done, you can go. So I don't know if anybody's playing strategy. Another strategy that Huffman could be playing here is called the overcut, when you let Eric come in and hopefully you can crank out a couple of fast laps, maybe save a 10th or 2 and get closer, maybe even pass by the time you come in the pits and come out. So we'll see if the overcut works for Huffman.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a lighter car. He's going to have tires that are worn in more, so he can actually use the tires harder than these guys would after they got the fresh tires. And I don't know if they took tires though, because their pit times were only 8 seconds long, and some guys you see down in the lower part, they got 15 to 14 second lap time. So it looks like your top 4 did not. They just did splash and goes, and then you got a couple guys running down in 11th and 13th. They did take 4 tires because they have 15-second pit stops. So we'll see Huffman. What these guys come up to is you see Albert gets right up on him in the pit entry. Good entry for both those guys. We'll see how the strategy works out for them. I don't know. I don't know if I want to handle cold tires again. I mean, we saw that first lap or 2 chaos going on with these cold tires. I mean, I don't think they had too much wear off. I know with the GT4 cars, they don't get too bad of wear off. Sometimes I see the guys don't even change the tires at all. Sometimes they just change the fronts, but like I said, it's easier to change fronts on the GT4 because the whole car is lifted up on air jacks, whereas these cars, you got to lift up both sides just to change fronts.
Oh, great point. Great point. And also, there's no pit lane speed limiter button on these cars either, so they have to really watch their speed and make sure they don't get a drive-through for going over.
Yeah, that's right. I've been a part of those drive-throughs for going over. I've made the mistake once or twice. Let's see who's going to come out now. We still got Caster. So Caster still has not gone in yet. Maybe he's going to be playing the long game and trying to get his extra point for that. Looks like we're getting a pass down now that the 19 car, Craig Hawkins, he has retired for the race. So we're going to be moving people up one more position. That's going to put Sargent in 16th. Right now, he himself, Hinton, and Snyder running 1 lap down. But they're sitting 16, 15 to 14. So Craig Hawkins will be our first DNF for the race. Hopefully just the last. We hate to see people drop out of the race due to problems with their driving or whatnot, but it happens. Doesn't want to get in the IPO list any harder than I did this last Friday. I mean, my IPO got shot up and I was not too happy about that. So I can understand where he may just be like, I'm just going to call it for the night.
We hope he comes back next week for sure.
Yeah. He's a veteran. He'll be around again. I like seeing Craig race and all these guys, coming back in. You got Sargent's first race back, not having the race he wish he had, and you got Austin Call making his debut back. So it looks like we're going to stick with Huffman for now. Anthony Castor does seem to be making his way in the pits now. Yes, he is pitted in. And that's going to give the lead back to Justin Taylor.
Speaking of the Thaylors, I want to give Sergeant Richard A. Thaylor, U.S. Marine Corps, a shout out. Eric and Justin's grandfather, Chris's father. He loved his country. He was a great leader and a decision maker, and he's been a role model for Chris, Justin, and Eric, I'm sure, U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you, Sergeant Richard Thaylor.
Yeah, missing Chris for the evening. Hope to see him back next week as we get back to Homestead for these guys. So back to familiar territory in the ovals where they love to race, and Homestead knows a fun track for these guys. You see Huffman now. I'm not sure he made up too much time on these guys. He's still sitting about 6 seconds back from Justin. So you got... I'm sorry, no, he's sitting 6 seconds back from...
Call.
Yeah, from Austin. Yeah, Austin Call, that's right.
But Huffman did take 4 tires with a 14-second stop.
That's a good catch. He did take 14 tires, so maybe we'll see how this runs out to him at the end of stage 17, which is when we get... Oh, yeah, it's not stage 17. Stage 2 on lap 17.
Maybe everybody else that did not take tires or only did not take tires, probably saving them for later in the race.
You see these guys, they're running neck and neck. They're bumper to bumper right now. You got 5, 6, and 7 giving each other very little space. It looks like after that pit strategy, Williams did take the hit. He's down in 7th place, so took a little bit of a hit coming down there, down 4 positions from his qualifying. Austin Call right now is your big gainer of the night. He's up 8 positions in the 4th spot, so looking to make a strong return for Austin as we see Williams looking up here to try to make the move on the inside of Castor. Going into turn 1. Gonna put Castor on the outside, and we know you don't like to be outside here. You're best to fall in line, stay in the groove.
Crossover.
Dive. Oh, crossover, little touch. He locked it up, so we know he didn't want to get into him too hard, but he's gonna go ahead and give the spot back. Probably a little apologies for that, a little wait by. Sorry, I didn't mean to get into you there.
Yeah, good sportsmanship there from Castor.
Yeah, we see Greg Dreiss coming out of the pits behind these guys. Sitting down at P13, so 13 on down to 16 right now, or 1 lap down. James Olofsson, the last car on the lead lap. Sitting in P12, we see a great look at this M&M's car. Looking like a car. 47 M&M's car. Austin Call. Must be a Kyle Busch fan. Or maybe just likes M&M's. I don't know. Either one. I like Kyle Busch. I think he's funny too. I know a lot of people, you love and hate him, so have fun with that paint scheme. I love the M&M's car. Looks great. You got Eric Thaler right now, sitting in 2nd place. We're having a little bit of technical problem right now with the some of the overlays. We're looking to get those fixed out, so don't mind Jason Huffman's name being up there the whole time. I'm sure he won't mind it. As you see, another spin out here. Trying to figure out the car. No, the car.
The last chicane, the NASCAR chicane. I couldn't see the car number either.
That would be Pete Dillon, 63 car in the Ford. You see Eric now. Just sitting behind, hounding Justin, making sure he knows he's still there. Justin makes one little mistake, and Eric's going to capitalize on that. So, running very similar lap times. Actually, that last lap, Eric was faster by 7/10. So, he's putting the hammer down, trying to get closer. That might have been, Eric having to go, Justin trying to get through traffic there. Looks like they might have put James down 1 lap now. I just see James politely giving way to Eric to allow the chase to continue. Riding back on board with Huffman. The correct number with the correct name on screen. Rocking the Dunkin' Donuts mobile. Albert Williams still hunting him down. These guys have been keeping it close for a while now. I wonder what happened to Castor. He was right behind these guys. Might have had a little issue as we see about 3 seconds slow the last lap, so he might have gotten a little chicane problem. No big deal. He'll catch back up to these guys. He's going to get the draft and looking to catch back up. Huffman running it wide, trying to keep it off the grass. Dips those tires, slows it down to keep from spinning. Lets Albert Williams by, but it's going to let Caster play catch up. Caster! Oh, oh my. Gets a little bit wonky here. Almost slides it out there. So let's see. I wonder if Caster, he took tires in the last pit too. He did not take tires, so he might be feeling a little bit of pressure on those.
Working lap 29, I believe. Working lap 14 now. Justin Taylor just crossed for 14 to start his 14th lap, 15th?
Yeah, 15th lap. So 21 to go. So we got 2 more laps left to go here. That's going to bring up the end of stage 2. As we said, there won't be any caution, so these guys will continue to drive even though the stage has ended. Justin still maintaining his 5-second gap over brother Eric as they come past Pete Dillon now, putting him 1 lap down. Great job, Pete. Letting these guys get by cleanly. Awesome to see the blue flags coming out and people respect him nicely. Let's see. Hey, James, can we get any more shout out here, James, for some more vets?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, we want to salute to all of our veterans, past and present, whether we call your name out or not, whether you're on our list of submissions or not. Everybody that served, or everybody that has a family member who served, it's also the family members that are pretty much going through it as well. And we thank everybody, friends and family. Kevin Mayer is a U.S. Army Combat Engineer, 682nd Engineers, Minnesota Army National Guard. And his brothers, Paul and David, both served in Vietnam. So we want to make sure. Also, his dad, Maury Mayer, are also veterans. So, Kevin, we appreciate you and your family's service to our country, past and present.
You say they're all in the same branch?
It doesn't say. They just said they both served in Vietnam.
Got it. Okay. Oh, I was like seeing those like
Army.
James Olafson, in the Air Force 9 car. What's going to go on with here, James? As he's going to put a little too much hammer down that right foot. Keeps it from going all the way around. Now, hopefully it doesn't get him a 2x. It might have just been enough to get him that little instant point. You see Justin now has pulled away from Eric a little more. We got Andrew Miller here in the Sigmobile. He is hunting down Clarence Prince. These guys are running for position right now. This is 9 and 10 coming into the bus stop. Going to make sure they get all the braking they need done here in this first part before we turn in. Don't want to break mid-turn. Greg Dreiss. What's going on with Greg is he's coming to, looks like the last hairpin, turn 13 and 14, where we saw Olafson get it wrong, and does a little bit smart thing, just keeps it going straight, so it didn't get a spin out there. Good on Greg. Keep the car pointed the area you want it to go.
I think you lock up your front wheels and the car doesn't turn, so I think he just went in there hot, much like he did following Norm, and a little bump and go there from Aunt Castor on Huffman.
We saw Castro have the problem in a little racing incident there, so maybe just a light bump and go. We'll see what happens with that. I just see he try to make the block pass, and Huffman not giving it to him.
8 and 4. Might be race control getting a slowdown, maybe.
'83 got a meeple. Who's the '83 car we got? That'll be Clarence Prince. Oh no, Clarence Prince getting wrong with the meatball. What happened here? This looks like turn. That's his.
Coming to the next car.
Oh, little twitching the brakes and crunch.
Neck stretcher. Easy for me to say.
And there he is. So we did come to lap 17. Justin Taylor will take first place for your stage points. Eric Taylor will get second for that. Dustin Reinsettle will get third. And not sure if Austin Call is in the pits. I'm not sure if he's going to get the stage points for that, as Austin was passed by Albert Williams and Jason Huffman for 4-5 and Caster taking 6. So I'm not sure if Austin got 5th place points for that. Or he was in 4th place. I'm not sure if he came in too early and didn't get the stage points, but we'll see how that works out. As you see, so Austin Call will make the first pit to come in. As a little technical thing, he said if he has a stage winner here, but just getting a little wrong in the turn.
Norm,
the Haviland car.
into the tire barrier.
Okay, so Austin Call did get stage 2 points for that 4th place. So luckily he was able. I think he had enough lead to get into the pits and get the points while getting the tires up. So he is your first to pit for some extra tires now. Him and Andrew Miller have both hit the pits twice. There you see Huffman. Oh, Justin coming back in too now. So here's your race leader diving into the pits.
Expect to see a longer pit stop this time for tires, I hope.
Yeah, Eric's going to take the extra lap around. He wants to get another lap led here and see what he can do. If he can do the overcut on his brother. Got to change something up, right? I mean, you've been behind him by 5 or 6 seconds all race, and he goes to take the pits. Maybe you want to run one more lap and see what you can get out of that.
That's right, and I think we'll have at least one more pit stop after this.
Yeah, I mean, they 35 laps and they have 18 left to go after this. I'm sure they have to do one more, maybe just a slash and go. So maybe the mid-stage, stage 2 pit stop would be the tire change one. And I do see Justin Taylor and Dustin Reinstead are both with a little bit longer stop, so they did take tires this time. Justin coming out now, going to be coming out in P4. Just in front of Ant Caster.
Wow, that shows how big of a lead Justin has as he gets squirrely, lighting them up. The cold tires putting some heat in them to go through the kink, or the dog leg as some call it. The only time Justin has not been leading is during these pit cycles.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll see what kind of lap time Eric can put down on these warm tires, and hopefully get enough time to build up on Justin with the cold, fresh tires coming out. And you see him still get a little squirrely coming out there with the hammer down. You're interesting to see some of these lines here. Some guys start up high in the turn and come down low, and some people run the middle. Not sure which one's the best strategy, but I mean, Justin's he's had the best strategy all night, leading every lap. Like you said, that hasn't been a pit cycle. So coming into the bus stop on the fresh set of cold tires, making sure he gets it right. So far, so good. We're going to be coming up to 17 laps to go this time around. Eric Taylor does stay out as we see the 17 to go sign change. So he is still not coming for his second set or his second pit stop yet. Albert Williams still behind him, about 20-second gap. So I mean, Eric's got a 20-second lead on second place car, and I do believe first, second, and third are your first 3 cars that have not come in for another pit stop yet. So we'll see how that phase works out for them, as Justin is only 26 seconds behind Eric.
The fact that they're running such different strategies, I mean, I wonder if they talk to each other. They're brothers. I talk to my brother 3 or 4 times a week. So I wonder if they're talking strategy out, or if they're just keep their cards close to their chest, Eric and Justin.
I heard them earlier during the practice time, and Everybody's talking about different brake bites they would set and all these different settings that they have that I know nothing about because I don't race these cars. Mine usually just about a brake bites and a steering offset change, but I know the Cup cars have a little bit more things you can change, master cylinders and things like that. So we see Castor back in 5th now, still on the bumper of Justin, not letting him get too far away. I believe Anthony Castor, let's see, he's had his one pit stop as well, so he's got another one to make. So far as they run, Justin, Austin Call, and Dustin Reinstedt all have taken your two pit stops. So we do see Eric coming in for this pit cycle. So I'm getting the call. So he's made his announcement, his intentions known. There's your leader coming in, sitting 22-second lead. So we'll see how that comes out for him as they cycle through. See Albert Williams, Justin Taylor, Anthony Castor have all moved up some spots now. Taylor making a move on the inside of Huffman. Going to go ahead and take that spot and set his eyes on Albert Williams, who is their lead car at the moment. Last lap around, Taylor ran a 155.1. So 155.2. That's only, he's only a 10th off his fastest time. Now he's on a fairly fresh set of tires, so he's putting the hammer down now. He knows that Albert's still going to come in for another pit, and Huffman and Castor behind him are still going to have to pit again.
All right, while we got this, I want to mention some more of our vets as we're thanking our veterans this Veterans Day weekend. Magnus McFauld runs in the Truck Series. He himself is a Marine Corps Lance Corporal. Also is great uncle in the U.S. Navy. And it feels like it really gives him a challenge and a turn in his life. And it's a responsibility to represent his branch. And his great uncle served in Vietnam. So we want to thank all those who gave, including Magnus McFauld.
Yes, thank you for that. You see Albert Williams coming in from the lead to make his pit stop with Huffman behind him. That's going to hand Justin Taylor his number one respectfully position back as he's held all race. Anthony Castor does stay out with him, and he still has to make another stop. We'll move Austin Call up 9 spots in total from his qualifying to P3, just in front of Eric Taylor. So Austin Call does have a nice little lead, just barely. I mean, him and Taylor are within neck and neck as Taylor puts a move on him on the timing board. So with that being said, we got 15 laps to go. Let's give a little promotion code here for the guys and see what we can come up with.
Unleash the racer in you with Midwest Motorsports. Feel the adrenaline, embrace the excitement, and join a thriving community that's as passionate about sim racing as you are. Our social channels bring you closer to the action, offering a driver's seat to the competition and an all-access garage pass to the latest results, news, and updates of all 4 Midwest Motorsports leagues. Don't just be a spectator, join the excitement. Scan the QR code, turn the key, and ignite your competitive spirit. Follow Midwest Motorsports and plug into a community that's as passionate about sim racing as you are. Scan the code on the screen or find us at midwest-motorsports.com today.
Welcome back from our promotion, sponsored by Midwest Motorsports, presented by twitch.tv/Rivenvale. Go there, it's where you're at now. It's how you check out all the racing on screen. As you see, Austin Call getting past Clarence Prince. That's not for position, that's passing a back marker. Austin Call, during that promotion, did make the pass back on Eric Taylor, so he brought himself back into P3, but Eric's going to be hounding him, trying to get all the position back. He wants those points back, and he too has had a great finish recently. He had a P3 last week and P2 at Auto Club, finishing just outside the top 5 at Daytona. I'm sorry, he did get fit to Daytona, so he's been on a good streak as of late. But Austin Call, making his comeback, wants to put his name on the books, put a little stamp down, make sure the guys remember who he is and how he raced when they came back. Coming up to 13 laps to go next time around. So we have done in the books 21 laps. These guys are looking to get this race wrapped up here. It's been a great race so far. Not too much shenanigans or action going on. Just everybody trying to run their race and keep their cars in line, running straight, keeping all four wheels pointing the direction they want to go in.
And it looks like Ryan Sargent has been making a little bit of a comeback, getting more familiar with the car and the track, as he just passed Greg Dries for 12th spot. So your new 12th position holder is Ryan Sargent. He's got a ways to go before he gets to his next victim, James Olofsson, if he catches him. But good to see Ryan Sargent staying with it, open to come back.
Yeah, I mean, got a little jumbled earlier, gathered himself up, made sure he figured out what to do and how to hit his spots and ride his own race. And so far, it's been working him good, coming back from 16 up to 12 now. So he's got James Olofsson, like you said, just in front of him by 39 seconds. So a little bit of a gap there, but you know, we can always be problems. Things happen, late mistakes happen. We see Anthony Kessler is going to take his last pit now, so he is in the pits now. It's going to hand Dustin Ryan, so should come out just in front of him. There he goes now. Dustin is taking back your 4th spot. So as they run, you got Justin Davis in 1. Austin Call is in the 2 spot now.
Not for long.
As he gets a dive. Oh, locking up the brakes there. They both give a little tire smoke coming out. We'll see how this handles in the dog leg left. Not too much space for 2 cars. Who's going to give? Who's going to take? Call's going to take. Daly's going to give. He's going to dive on the inside, take that inside line away, forcing Eric to go on the outside, trying to make the move around. You want to get past me, you're going to take the long way around, says Austin Call. Getting out of the way there. Thanks a lot for that, Chris Mellon. Let these guys get the race going. These guys are running bumper to bumper, coming into Daytona 1 and 2 for the NASCAR track. Eric putting the hammer down, gets a little bit squirrely out there. It's going to give Austin Call a little bit of more breathing room as they come up to the bus stop, which has been seeing a lot of action tonight. So these guys they're going to put their names up there and get higher up in the positions. Yeah, great battle coming up here. This is for 2nd and 3rd, so this is a better spot on the podium. Keep it together, hitting the curbs just so lightly, not getting out off track. We see him coming to the NASCAR 3 and 4 now. You got the next chicane. The next chicane is the one that's been giving people more trouble, that it's got the turtle shell, so they tend to bounce the cars a little more, but you do not want to run over those things. I just see they're getting all up on his back. Looking to go on the inside here, doing to dive it in. Hits the turtle shell. They both come collect it. Taylor, gather, get it up here. This is great. This is great racing here, James, huh?
Man, they both lighted up coming out. It's like Eric went in a little deep and hit the turtle on the left, and then Call getting the power down, hit the turtle on the exit, and they both get squirrely and come out about exactly the same distance apart. As Call goes wide in turn 1, Eric Thaler hits the wall on the inside coming out of turn 1, trying to avoid Call. So, man, don't go anywhere. We got some NASCAR Cup Series action.
Yeah, these guys are getting it right here. I mean, Austin Call went in too deep. Taylor tried to avoid him and lit up the back end, as we're going to see right here. You got Austin Call taking it too far wide. trying to make sure he gets back on track safely. Eric sees him, puts the hammer down, tries to get in front of him, and just collects the left side of his car. Gets a nice smack on the front side. Hopefully it's going to help, not going to hurt his tires too much, but that was a pretty good hit. We'll see how that handles his car handles after that.
Yeah, that was just an opportunity that presented it in himself, and I'm sure it was probably a distraction, and you just lose focus for 1 or 2 seconds is all it takes. And that's how quickly things can change. You think you got second, and then bam, you're into the wall, and now it's right back to status quo, but your car is damaged as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it at the front of the car, that left side is caved in a little bit more, so I hope that doesn't damage the car too much. I hope it's just cosmetic, not mechanical at all, and he can keep it going. But I've been in that position, right? You see the car in front of you, you want to do what they're doing, follow their line, and that car takes it wide, and it kind of throws you off your groove, so you try to collect it back up, and you see that window open, and you want to take the window, and then the window gets slammed, and the next thing you know, you're running into a window. So, I mean, these guys, Call is going to get it wrong again. Gets the left side turtle, going to give Thaler the chance again. He took that window and he slammed it back down on Call. Saw the opening there.
Yeah, much cleaner putting down the power this time.
That's right. They're coming back in the turn 1 now. So we'll see how his car handles here. There's a sharper turn, so hopefully he gets the power down smoothly as he collects himself. That looks a lot better than was last lap. So going up to the gears. Hard on the brakes here. You see the back rotors line up. Call lines up harder, getting on the inside of Thaler now. Thaler is going to get the run out of here. This is a great cam. When you see these cars this close together and you see them both coming into the turn right there, you just see everything lighting up. Here we go. West Hairpin, Call looking for the spot. Thaler saying no, thank you. This is my spot. I wanted number 2. I was here all race.
Austin Call having a great run on his first trip back to the Midwest Motorsports League. Something tells me that he and Eric may have been racing some together. His Call gets it just a little bit wrong coming out of the final turn before Nascar 1 and 2.
Getting him popping up now. James Allison having trouble, it looks like, in the bus stop. Gonna get off track here, take it too hard in. Spins it out. Gonna go ahead and loop it here. Hopefully he wasn't sitting there too long. I did see cars at the back of him, so hopefully he got out of the way there and managed to keep out of trouble. See Eric's now sitting in the 2 spot. Does have just about a second lead on Call. Like you said, making a great run back. Up 9 positions from P12 at the start up to 3rd. So there's no loss there. I mean, he's having a great run tonight, giving Thaler all he can handle. Austin Call actually sitting with the fastest lap time now, so he's got something figured out. 1:55.12. That beats the real life lap record of Chase Elliott back in 2001 on the Gen 6 cars. That was a 1:55.6, so these guys are running faster in sim. I mean, you have less, you're not going to get so much hurt here as you would in the Cup cars, but running faster lap times in the real life. So these guys are hammering down, giving everything they got. I'm seeing, oh no, that's Olafson spinning out in front of Eric Thaler. Getting it wrong. Oh no, that was not something he wanted to do. I know that much. That's 2 and 3 coming around, and he just lights up the rear end all by himself. James Olafson locking it down, trying to hold still. Oh no. Gets Eric Thaler in the side. Oh, he's going to be kicking himself at that one.
My heart breaks for Eric as far as just being at the wrong place, wrong time again. We're going to have to take the shoelaces and sharp objects away from Eric again this week.
Eric, just the magnet for incident points. I mean, he kept it fairly clean all race and only had his own mistakes, but man, it goes out, Eric. Here we go again. The Drift King gets it all wrong. Just bad place, bad time. But, he still kept 3rd place, so he's going to put a charger, but he's got Dustin coming in now. Dustin wants to get back on that podium. I mean, last week's winner, like I said, he wants to get back in that podium spot. He's going to be looking to get Eric now. He knows Eric's got a damaged car. Might be a little rattled after those incidents. Dustin's running clean, consistent lines all by himself. So he's dialed in. He sees Eric having the problems. They're going to come in for the pits. So they have one more pit cycle. We see your top 4 diving in the pits now.
Also, that's Dustin Reinstedel on 11, just behind Eric Thaler. Dustin Reinstedel wants to honor his uncle, Terry Casey, who's a private first-class Navy engineer who served during Desert Storm. It was his uncle, and Dustin's uncle loved Dale Sr. Didn't watch much after Dale Sr. passed, but thought it was cool when Dustin joined the league, and Terry Casey, his uncle, watched a lot of the broadcasts. So, Mr. Casey, we honor you for your service.
All right, so that's your top 4 coming out of the pits. As they were right now, Caster's going to go up 4 spots to the P2. I do believe he is going to, unless he's made a lot of saving fuel here, which I don't know if it's possible, he's going to have to come in one more stop. But Eric, hopefully he had that fast repair in his pocket. I'm sure he did. Going to use that. Going to put the hammer down now. He's going to come back with that position he wants. Austin Cole in front of him is sitting in 3rd right now. But as it cycles through, he should be getting back into 2nd, 3rd with these 2 guys.
I mean, after a contact like that with Olafsson, to only be back 3 seconds while you were in front. So a position, so maybe 4 seconds back might not be that bad of a deal, but we'll see if Eric Thaler in the 15 Midwest Motorsports livery, by the way. Eric is one of the founders of the Midwest Motorsports League. So just can't seem to buy a win these days in his own league, but I'm sure he's going to give it his all to try to chase back Austin Call. He's got 8 laps to do it.
That's right. I mean, 8 laps. He's got a little bit of time left. You know, so it looks like your top 4 guys, or I'm sorry, top 5 with Castro not pitting yet. They did only take fuel. They did splash and go, so they're all on the same tire strategy now. You can see Eric coming up to the back of Austin pretty quickly. He did run a 3-second faster lap time that last time around, so he's getting it right coming out of the pits. With fuel, maybe he took a little bit less fuel, caught up more. Not sure, but he's looking to make the turn in. Oh, he's going to give the spot back and making a smart move. Call locking up a little bit. It's not going to help his tires any.
Call must have been playing it very cautious that last lap.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they might have had a little bit of traffic in front of him or not, but that was 3 seconds slower after getting fuel. I mean, maybe he's getting used to the car's handling. As we see, don't look now, we have Olafsson in front of these guys again. Hopefully he backs out here, lets these guys get around him as he does. Good job. Thank you, back markers. We got these tight race going on here between 3rd and 4th right now. Austin taking the tight line. Oh, getting a little sideways there, taking the wide line, trying to hammer down the flat part. It's not usually the best place to do it at. We do see here we got Pete Dillon coming into the turn, the first hairpin.
Green car
here. And just gonna kiss the curb a little bit and put too much hammer down. I know at the time he was looking to make a position up there. That was Andrew Miller sitting in front of him, so that was for position. That would have put him in P9. So right now Pete Dillon still standing in the top 10. It's gonna let Sargent get a little bit closer. I mean, Sargent is still 35 seconds back from those guys, so you continue to see this battle. Eric here. Oh, Clarence Prince, what happened to you? Coming into the hairpin or the left-hander before NASCAR 1 and 2. Not able to save it as well as Taylor did. Same section of the track, flat part of the track. Used tires, a little bit heavier car. Not usually the best combination for hammering down. We see what happened to Austin Call. I think he might be blinking here because I don't see him. Okay, Austin Call did pit. We got red lights coming up all over here. People crashing and people passing pits. Something's going on. We got Greg Dreiss, your host, cool down lap, coming into the last chicane before the start finish line. Oh,
Hello,
trying
Turbo.
to cut it a little too hard there. I am getting reports now that Austin Call retired from the race.
Wait, retired? Is that a play on words? Because he just came into the pits. So did
No,
he just new
he
tires?
said
Like retired, or he's out of the race?
He's out of the race, retired. Nobody knows why. It says 47 has retired. And he says that he pitted and he is out of the race. So not sure what happened there. Austin Call making a strong debut back, deciding to pull it off here and give Eric back third place until he gets his position for a pit that I believe Caster still has to do. We'll see about that.
That would be great if Caster really did save enough fuel. I don't know if he could save 6 more laps after this one of fuel. But if he could get away with one less stop than everybody else, that would be amazing. Even if it's not for the win.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd come in for a splash, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't even begin to know how that would happen. I mean, I know running higher RPMs and doing some more lifting, but these guys pitted back with what 9 laps ago. He has to try and save 9 more laps, and these guys will be interested to see if he can pull that off.
So he did go long after that second stage. I don't know if you remember, but the pit lap for Eric and Justin Thaler and everybody else basically was lap 26. Even Dustin Reinstedel came in at 26. Caster came in at 22. So it's really 4 more laps than everybody else.
All right. Maybe he's got 4 laps with some saving. It could be, maybe it can be done. Or at least just take a small fuel. I mean, if he does a slash and go with that much saving, you'll probably, looking at the time board, maybe set him back to P5, maybe P4 in front of Reinstedel. So we'll see if this comes up. When we do see Justin still up front, and not sure about this, but Caster's barely a second behind him. Not sure if we can get the cameras up to 1 and 2 right now, because we got a tight battle up there between 1 and 2, sitting just about a second back right now.
Sorry, we'll stay with Eric Thaler. There's another veteran I'd like to recognize who's actually in the Midwest Motorsports Series. He runs trucks with us on Friday night. Ryan Latshaw is the E5 in the Coast Guard. So we appreciate you, Ryan. 10 years he's been serving he served from 2007 to 2017. So thanks a lot, Ryan. This Veterans Day weekend, we appreciate your service, as we do all our veterans.
Yeah, E5 in the Coast Guard, it's Petty Officer Second Class. I do believe he said he was an MK, which makes them a machinery technician. So he knows his way around engines, if that was the case. I mean, it's either MK or BM, which would be a Bosa mate. But nonetheless, Ryan Latshaw, one of my teammates in the truck series, had a fun time with him, making a couple other guys. We all run a team together. So shout out to you, Ryan. Thank you for your service for 10 years back in 2007. So he got in as I was graduating high school. Actually, I was graduating in 07. So thank you very much for that, Ryan, and thank you, thank you, James, for shouting that out. As we see, this is the race for the lead right now on track. What happened to Eric Thaler? We got a crash report up here. This might be the part where he's gonna just brakes it too hard. The Drift King semi saves it.
Another half spin.
Another low half spin, but it did register as a crash, so that would be an instant point for him. But we come back to lead with Justin Thaler and Caster still on his tail. He ran 5/10 faster last lap around, so he doesn't seem to be holding back too much. He may be either trying to stretch it out, or maybe he's got something saved that we didn't know about.
That would be incredibly amazing if Ant Caster can get away with just 2-stopping this race. Another thing that I did find out, I believe, if you can believe everything they put on the internet, I'm not sure if you do or not, but that the Daytona chicane was put in during the COVID race one year. That's why NASCAR came to Daytona and run the Roval, and they decided to put the chicane in before the start-finish line. Very similar to the Charlotte Roval chicane before the start-finish line. So I just thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure they want the guys, coming out where they're in the bus stop that have lap, the turn 3 and 4. They have the whole front stretch, and coming down to that long left-hand turn might have upset some cars pretty good. So I'm sure they did lots of testing. I know that's when the race started, was during the COVID season. So it's great to see these guys come out here and race on the Daytona road course. I mean, NASCAR hadn't done that before with the Cup Series at least. So it's always nice to introduce a new Roval course or road course that's already on a track layout.
And good on iRacing to put that chicane in there for us us to enjoy the night.
Gives us more options, right? I mean, they have the 24-hour Daytona, and they had that same track minus the last chicane. So we get the couple options here. We get to run that one or this one, and we just had to run the actual NASCAR one. So that's good to see Taylor with a little bit of blinking here, but still keeping Ant Caster at bay, and Caster has not come in yet. So 4 laps to go. Will be real interesting. He's either got to pit real soon, or maybe he's going to try to take this one all the way home. Justin Taylor, still your number 1 spot, as he has had the majority of the night, minus the pit cycles. So he's got everything figured out tonight, making sure to stay off the turtles as much as he can, if not all the way, because we've seen people hit those just so slightly and it upsets the car too much. These cars run a lot lower cars than they do on the Cup, normal oval courses. So don't want to get it wrong. Scrape the bottom of your car, mess it up, take away the turn. As you see him nice and smooth, coming through the little S here into the first hairpin, the Rodriguez International Horseshoe. Got another battle coming up here. This is Huffman and Williams. This is your closest battle on track right now for position P5 and P6. Coming up now, 3 laps to go. Huffman looking on the inside. Oh boy, Williams taking a little bit wider there. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but it's going to open the door for Huffman. They're going to run it 2 here in the S's. This is a problem section. Taking it into the first horseshoe. Lined up the rear rotors. Albert Williams maintains his position after going wide in turn 1. Huffman being nice there, giving him some space. Doesn't want to ruin both their races. Good call on that part.
He's got 3 more laps to build up the speed and take another look. They were side by side through the International Horseshoe. You just don't see that very often. There's a lot of give and take from both drivers here.
Yeah, looks like Williams might have braked a little earlier than Huffman anticipated. He got right up on his rear, so I'm not sure if that was accidental brake or just surprised Huffman and he wasn't ready for it, but he caught right back up. These guys running only 0.3 off each other, so similar lap times last time around, 1:55.9 and 1:55.4 for Huffman. Huffman's got something figured out here, got about half a second faster. We see Clarence Prince has an incident coming into the turtle, carrying a lot of speed. Not sure, you might have forgotten where the turn was there. You see another incident on track. This is another replay of Anthony Caster. Or not that. This is Eric David in the same spot as Clarence Prince, going to collect that turtle and bounce off the wall. Not
He's
what you want to do.
Hard. Yeah,
he is trying really hard. So we did see, I believe, Caster came in that last time around. He has dropped down to 5th place, but he only took 4-second stop, so he just got this last little splash. So he did not have enough in the tank, as I had suspected. made a long run of it, still kept him up in 4th place, just in front of these guys. He's in front of these guys by, he got 14 seconds in front of Williams. So right now, this is the battle on track. Justin Taylor in first, Eric 13 seconds back in second, Dustin 5 seconds back on him in third, Caster sitting fourth, and then this is your battle for fifth with Albert Williams and Jason Huffman. And then you have Chris Melton sitting in 7th place. And then 8th down to 16th, those guys are all lappers now. You got Andrew Miller, Pete Dillon, and Ryan Sargent rounding out your 10. Sargent making up 2 more spots. When last time we checked in with him, he was in sitting P12, so he has gotten his car figured out now, sitting in the 10th position, getting some top 10 points. But on the track, this is the battle. 2 laps to go. Should be having 1 lap, the white flag come out pretty soon. Justin Taylor has a sizable gap on these guys, so you're going to see that change as Huffman gets all up on the rear. And you got Williams playing defense. Going to take out the midline. We do have the white flag come out for the leader, Justin Taylor. These guys handling the bust out pretty good, fighting it out. Williams going to get the better drive out, open up that lead a little bit more. But this is the next part right here is where Huffman makes the catch up. Going to take a running wide, keep as much momentum as he can, keep the clean air going. There we go, avoids the turtles as much as they can, puts the power down. Not sure of the car that's in front of these guys. That should be a back marker, so you're going to be looking to stay out of the way as your last lap battle for top 5 is in front of us. As you see Williams getting it wrong again, running wide, opening the door for Huffman. Huffman trying to make the inside move. Not quite there yet. Wants to make his move make the move stick, so make a smart position here. Huffman trying to get inside Williams. Williams taking away the inside line. Trying to stick it down here. Trying to poke a nose in on Albert Williams. What do you think of this going on there, James?
Last lap battle. This is for 5th and 6th. So top 5 spot up for grabs here. Can Jason Huffman pass Albert Williams?
This is the part last time where Williams surprised Huffman with the braking. We'll see if Huffman gets back up on his rear. As he does, that was them passing Sargent in 10th place. So that was a back marker. And you're going to see Huffman running wider, trying to get all the momentum up there. Taking that high line, letting Williams take the low line. Trying to avoid and get the draft now. I think Williams is going to try to hold this bottom line, take away the inside move, as we see the winner for the race will be Justin Taylor coming across your finish line. Justin Taylor with his 2nd race tonight, as we see Huffman trying everything he can to get past Williams. Williams holding him off, getting a little bit better drive out of this turn. They got 1 more chicane to navigate. Coming in the NASCAR 4 for the last turn, 13 and 14. This is where it's all going to have to happen if he's going to make it happen. Coming out cleanly, both cars taking a little bit of curb. Huffman does get a little bit more, keeps it steady though. And that's going to be your positions as they finished. We see Norm Snyder coming out of the pits. Huffman will not be able to make the move on Williams. This is your race winner, Justin Taylor. Calcutta, Ohio, comes back with another P1. That's his 2nd race win of the season, keeping his streak of a top 2 finish all season long, with the 2nd Daytona, 1st Auto Club, 2nd Iowa, and 1st again, getting everything right at the Daytona Roval, as he had all race. One of the founders of Midwest Motorsports. Welcome back, league owner Justin Taylor, to the top spot. Great racing out here tonight.
All right, I say you can't take the hats to victory lane until it's over with. Well, Justin Taylor's crew should pack up those hats, get ready for that hat swap down in victory lane. Justin Taylor, just like he did in the trucks Friday, goes pole and flag to flag. So congratulations, Justin Taylor. Congratulations, Aaron Holroyd, on a great call tonight. Man, you did an awesome job. Looking forward to you taking over for the rest of the truck season, man. You never had anything to prove in the first place, but you did a great job tonight, man. And it's not over yet. You get to do some interviews with the winner. I'm sure Justin's going to be happy to talk to us. See if we can do some donuts here.
There you go. As he's doing some donuts, do you think we got one more shout out for a vet?
I do. Our man down in the camera truck, Colin Huffman, wants to recognize Thomas Collins from the U.S. Navy. He was an E3 mechanic, served in the late 50s as his grandfather. And he runs his paint scheme. Colin runs his paint scheme when he runs the Xfinity class and his number. And he puts the name on the passenger seat. So he rides with him. He's always thinking about his grandfather. So thank you, Mr. Collins, for your service as we do all of our veterans on this Veterans Day weekend. Every day should be Veterans Day, if you ask me. We just want to do our little part and recognize our veterans on this Veterans Day weekend at Midwest Motorsports.
That's right. As you see right now, this as they finish, Justin Taylor, your winner, as he's burning it down all across the whole infield and in the pits. Eric Taylor, brother, taking the 2. Those guys did start 1 and 2, so that's how they're going to finish. Dustin Reinsettle will get 3rd. Anthony Castor with the nice strategy gets 4th place. Then we got Albert Williams in 5 and Jason Huffman 6. Chris Melton 7th. Andrew Miller 8th. Pete Dillon 9th. Ryan Sargent with his first race in this series for the season, coming back to a P10 after a rough start. James Olofsson 11th. Greg Trice, your cooldown lap host, in P12. Clarence Prince 13th. Norm Snyder 14th. Brandon Hinton 15th. Austin Call 16th with that weird disconnect, and Craig Hawkins rounding out 17th. As we have in the booth, I do believe we have the man himself, Justin Taylor, with that race win on the Roval. How you feeling about that race there, Justin?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm pretty good. Set out to do what I was hoping to, so I think on all sides I had a pretty good race.
Yeah, I mean, you led from pole to the finish line. I mean, other than the pit strategies, after they all cycled through, you held the first place position the entire race, and Eric was right there with you for the most part of it. He had a little bit of battle with Austin Call, but I see that you had the strategy tonight. You made your own. You took your own pit stops when you wanted to, and you stuck with the strategy that ended up being the right call for you. Tell me about how those turtles were. Did you get involved in any of the chicane bumps?
Yeah, pretty early in the race, on the exit of the last chicane there, I did get up on one a little bit, and my nose was just pointed right at the outside wall. So I had one really good scare, and then from there I was kind of just focusing on cleanly getting through the chicanes. I wasn't trying to push it too hard and risk anything, because anytime you touch those, I found in practice they're really brutal on the car. They unsettle it a lot. So just trying to avoid them, get through those chicanes clean, focus on my exit speed, keep the drive off going. So as far as the curbs, I was trying to avoid them at all costs.
Yeah, we saw a lot of guys have problem with, especially with that turn 13, 14. As you said, we had a couple of guys that the cars just kept going, pointing straight, and some guys would get the little turtle shells and start losing those back into the stars. So I knew that cars that were not hitting them tended to fare better than the ones that were hitting them.
Oh yeah. So overall, I think it was a good race. My first quali lap was pretty uneventful. Kind of really lost the drive off coming out of the last chicane to start that lap, so I knew I lost some time there. Eric's got a really good lap, and my second one was a fire, so I was surprised at the pace that I set, but qualifying here for sure. It's not really easy to pass here on this track, especially throughout the infield and stuff. So if you can set yourself up really on any of the long straights on the oval portion of the track, I knew that was going to be an opportunity had I been behind anybody. But yeah, it was a good race for me, a good race for a lot of guys. So pretty happy with the outcome of it.
Yeah, hey James, you got anything to ask the race winner here?
I do. Justin, it's James up here. And I'm going to hand it off to Colin and let him take over the Cup stuff from now on. And just want to say thanks for all you do for the Midwest Motorsports League, but also I noticed that the road courses in the Oval Series, specifically the Trucks Friday and then the Cups tonight, both road courses, and Justin Taylor leads flag to flag. I don't think that's a coincidence. So congratulations on doing the double road course weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, tonight was tough. Like I said earlier, it was all about trying to get that pole position, try and lead down into turn one and kind of drive away. Kind of started to gap Eric for a while there. I knew he was going to be quick here. Then just kind of managing my pace throughout the race and keep an eye on my relative. I definitely by far wasn't setting any kind of fast laps throughout the race that I needed to, but I got the job done, and Eric was always within sniffing distance. So I knew any mistake I would have made, I would have probably lost out on it. So kudos to him and Dustin and all the other guys who ran a really, really good race.
Yeah, that's right. Before we let you go, Justin, you got any shout outs you want to give out to the people?
Oh, just you guys for doing what you do in the broadcast as always. On the admin team and all our drivers. We've had a really successful Cup Series so far, so continue to grow and hopefully deliver and give our league members, a lot that they ask for and keep this thing going for them. They're most important. Without them, we wouldn't be here, and a lot of growth with some new guys, new to the league and kind of what we do here. So just a shout out to pretty much everybody involved in any aspect here at Midwest Motorsports.
Yeah, great. Thanks a lot for that, James or Justin. That's very nice of you. We appreciate being up here. We love calling the races. And we'll look to see you here next week as we got Homestead on the schedule. You got any news anything exciting about that track?
Oh, ride the wall and hope I don't get don't get a car that's beat up towards the end. I know Eric is really looking forward to that. I think he's gonna be the man to catch next week at Homestead. That's a favorite track. He always runs really, really well there, and he could probably drive it with his eyes closed. So tricky track for me, but looking forward to it. It's always a fun one.
All right. Well, thanks you for that, and thanks for racing tonight. Have a good weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here from Daytona Roval Racing on Sunday nights for Midwest Motorsports, the Cup Series. We will be back next week from Homestead. We'll be racing at 7 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. on Sunday night next week. So with that, you got anything left for me, James?
Man, it's all you. I love it. I had a great time tonight. It's great to see the Cup cars doing what they do on the Roval. 18 cars next week at Homestead, riding the cushion. I'm all about it. You're not going to want to miss it. Come back next Sunday.
All right, everybody. With that, I'm Aaron Horwitz signing off for the night with my co-host James up here in the booth, and we'll see you guys next week from Homestead.